Hello, everyone. I'm Dwayne Bonifer in the Lindsey Wilson College Office of Public Relations, and this is The View from the Hill, the inaugural edition of 2025. Every week during the academic year, The View from the Hill features conversations with some of the people who help create the dynamic living learning environment that serves the educational needs of every Lindsey Wilson student every day. In this inaugural 2025 edition, we'll visit with Lindsey Wilson theater professor Robert Brock. Robert will preview the theater department's two spring productions along with this summer's TheatreFest. He will also discuss the college's new arts administration major and give us a peek of the Regional Performing Arts Center that will be open during the 2026-2027 school year. 15 years ago, Robert Brock helped found Lindsey Wilson's theater program. More than 130 plays later, Robert is part of a program that has resulted in two new academic majors at Lindsey Wilson, Theater and Arts Administration. He's also been in on the designs of what promises to be an amazing Regional Performing Arts Center. More about the majors and the Regional Performing Arts Center later in the podcast. But first, let's get Robert to preview this spring's two productions by the college's theater department. The first production will be the award-winning play The Weir by Irish playwright Conor McPherson. That will be performed in early April. The second production will be the musical adaptation of Louisa May Alcott's classic and beloved novel Little Women. That will be performed at the end of April, and both productions will be in VP Henry Auditorium. Robert says that Conor McPherson's The Weir will kick off more than a year of study and celebration of Irish literature and theater by students in Lindsey Wilson's English and theater programs.
Which I chose because in the spring of 26, the theater program and the English program are collaborating on a course and trip that deals with the Irish Renaissance, and we will take a trip during spring break of that semester. We're taking the students to Ireland to see a lot of these places that, had played a big part in the Irish Renaissance. And so this play is kind of to introduce our students and the campus to Irish plays. We've never done one here before, and so I think it'll be a lot of fun and very interesting. The play is set in a pub way out in western rural Ireland, and in a way, if you break it down to what it is, simply it is an evening where the men and one woman who comes in to the pub, and they're sitting around drinking and telling ghost stories. There's a lot more to it than that, but it's interesting, and the stories are pretty cool. Then we're going to do Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. It's a musical, something we wanted to do for years, but couldn't get the rights because it was on tour. But this, I know a lot of students around are excited, not just the theater students. I think we're going to get a lot of people show up to take a stab at this.
This is the first Irish play that you've done in the 15-year history of theater at Lindsey Wilson College. Irish plays are a little bit different.
Yeah, they're different. They are they are a thing unto themselves. And because the Irish are different, you think, well, they all live in the British Isles and they're like the Brits and everybody else, but that's just not true. And their history is very different. They've gone through a whole lot. The Irish Renaissance was actually part of the revolution to sort of take back their identity, which had been slowly and gradually and methodically stripped away. And so they came up with their own, I mean, it was important to them to come up with their own identity in theater, in poetry, in writing, in painting, and everything. And so that's what that course is about. And so this play, you don't see many plays like this anywhere. And really, most of the Irish plays are very although they hit on universal themes, they're very specifically Irish, and I don't know. I love Irish theater and always have. So I'm really excited about it.
Little Women, of course, has been, I guess, part of the American cultural landscape for well over 100 years. It's, of course, started as a novel. It's been movies. It's been this musical that will be produced. What is it about Little Women that makes it such an enduring part of the American story?
Well, I never read Little Women. Oops. But I always heard about it, and I always heard Beth dies, and it's sad, and that's basically all I knew. And then when Greta Gerwig's film came out of it, my wife wanted to see it, so we went, and I sort of grudgingly went because I just thought, I don't know what it's about, I don't know. But I was blown away. I did not know how great a story that was. It's about artists. All of the sisters are artists of a different, a painter, a writer, and that like that. And it's about all that going on during the Civil War. There's so much happening, and it's so much growth, and it's from the perspective of women. And I don't know, I was just blown away. I get it. I finally get it. This is a great, great book. So I'm really excited to be doing that.
Lots going on in the theater department. You have TheatreFest as well this summer coming up. That's more than 10 years old as well. Continues to offer a lot of variety and a lot of interesting opportunities for folks in the region.
Yeah. That started because when I got here and we'd started the theater program, and it was gaining some momentum, but I noticed that in the summers there was nobody here. And I thought, why? When I was in college, when I was at the University of Kentucky, we had a summer theater thing going on. And it was, great for the students, but the community came. It was, because there's not a lot of plays going on, especially around here. And so I just thought we need to do that and make that something, and it's really turned into something. It's been very popular, well attended, and yeah, we've been 2013, so we're going into the 12th year. It's not bad. So this I think 5 years ago, we added a children's theater wing to it called Imagine Youth Theater, where young people from all over the region, from wherever, come and audition to be in the plays we've done. Last year we did Tuck Everlasting, we did Cinderella, we did Seussical, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and some other things, and it's been very successful, and you've watched it grow. I think we had 32 young people from around this area come and participate last summer. So I'm not sure exactly what the play is this summer that we're going to do, but it'll be announced pretty soon. And then we're going to do Crimes of the Heart by Beth Henley. We did a play by her last summer, the Miss Firecracker contest, which was very popular, and it reminded me how much I loved Beth Henley and wanted to do something by her again. And so Crimes of the Heart is her most famous work, and started at Actors Theater of Louisville. And so that's going to be exciting.
Sort of makes sense in a way that an arts administration program would be started here at Lindsey Wilson as well. So much going on in theater. That's sort of a natural progression, I guess, in terms of the activities. And this is the first year for an arts administration major.
Boy, it's been fiddled around with and worked on and attempted going back before I got here. I came in 2011, and there was, I think it was in the curriculum. There was an arts administration thing, and I know David Gauguin and Tim Smith had worked on the program. It's interdisciplinary, so the business and communication are involved, and students, are going to pick an emphasis in art, music, theater, or writing, and then they'll take all the other business, marketing, development courses, and then some courses specific to arts administration. But anyway, this just got passed last spring, and the first course was taught this past fall. So this is just starting out, and so it's going to be exciting to see how this grows. We're one of 3 institutions of higher learning. I know UK has a bachelor's in arts administration, and I think Bellarmine. And we're the only other one that has it. So hopefully that will help with recruiting. People that want to come here. I know that a lot of our theater students, and I've heard a lot of English writing students are interested and thinking about using it as a double major, and which it works perfectly for if you're, doing anything with the arts, and because there's so many jobs in arts administration out there, way more than there are for other things. There's hundreds of thousands of jobs for actors, but there's hundreds of thousands of people trying to get them. And it's not, the competition isn't as fierce, and all these places are looking for people with excellent skills and know-how. Because the arts don't exist if they're not managed properly, and they don't have the advocacy and the business know-how to keep them going.
You're listening to the Lindsey Wilson View from the Hill podcast. I'm Dwayne Bonifer in the Lindsey Wilson Office of Public Relations. I'm talking to Lindsey Wilson theater professor Robert Brock. Later in 2025, Lindsey Wilson will break ground on a regional performing arts center. The Performing Arts Center, which will be about 29,000 square feet, will include a main performance area, a rehearsal space that can double as a black box theater and hold special events, and a lobby and offices. Robert says the Regional Performing Arts Center will be one of Kentucky's cultural crown jewels, and its impact will be felt not only by Lindsey Wilson students, but by the residents of South Central Kentucky as well.
Yeah, the Performing Arts Center is a long-time dream, not just mine, but a lot of people here at Lindsey. And it's taken a long time to get to the point where it actually became feasible, but now it is approved. We're going to break ground soon, and this is actually going to happen, and this is a big, big deal. For us, it gives us what a theater program at a college should have is an actual theater facility. We've been working in VP Henry, which was renovated a year and a half after I came to start the program, and it sufficed, but that building, I think, was mainly for church services, and so, we've been doing theater in a church, but we made it work, and it's been good, but, you can't really train our students to go out into the world of theater in terms of technical theater, especially lighting and sound and all of that, because we didn't have the stuff. We didn't have the equipment. You couldn't teach lighting design in there. There's so many things you couldn't cover well at all. So now we're going to have a theater. The whole theater program will move over there. We'll have offices. It'll be our classroom, and all our performances will have rehearsal space, which is the other thing with VP Henry is we've had to VP Henry is used by many, many programs on campus. And so the scheduling of everything has always been tricky. And now we won't have to worry about that at all. The nursing and everybody can have VP Henry, and we have our plays down there. But and we're going to be in a state-of-the-art facility, and this is going to have a lot of things a lot of theaters I know don't have, but this is based on, we went to the University of Evansville and saw their theater, which was based on the Guthrie Theater, which was designed by Tyrone Guthrie, one of the foremost theater artists of his day, and this theater can accomplish so much. There's so many plays that we haven't been able to do that now we can, and it's going to open up so much. It's going to be so much better for the students. The training they can get, the feel of acting on this kind of stage compared to what we've been doing. And this is a performing arts center, so it's not just for the theater program, although we'll be housed there. But this stage will be perfect for all kinds of things, and hopefully we'll have a lot of different kinds of performances coming in, and lectures, authors, artists, string quartets, musicians, bands, you name it, dance groups and all of it, and just have the arts just popping down there. And that's my dream, and I think that's actually going to come true. And then we have a rehearsal hall in this building, a big one, where we can rehearse the plays, and then when it's time to start putting lights and sound to it, then we move out to the theater. But this will allow us to do smaller experimental plays. We'll have a seating that can be rearranged in a lot of different ways. It'll be great for cabarets, receptions, gala things, whatever, dinner theater. I don't know, just a lot of stuff can happen in that room, and that makes it exciting too. So I think the goal and the way people are thinking about it and the way I'm thinking about it, this is a regional center. It's not just for the campus, and it's not just for Columbia. This is to, a broad region where we can offer things that aren't being offered around these parts, where, that nurturing the whole cultural environment of this place.
Well, it sounds like this is going to be one of the premier performing arts facilities on a college campus in the whole Commonwealth of Kentucky.
I think so. And I've been to a whole bunch of theaters around Kentucky, and I think this will be the envy of the state. I think this is going to just blow people away. I don't know of another theater like it in Kentucky, and all that it will have and what we'll be able to offer for the college, the community, and the region is just going to be spectacular.
That's Lindsey Wilson theater professor Robert Brock. To learn more about Lindsey Wilson's theater program, you can check it out on the World Wide Web by pointing your internet browser to lindsey.edu/theater, and that's theater spelled R-E. That's going to do it for 2025's inaugural edition of A View from the Hill. You can tell us what you like or don't like about this podcast by firing off an email to us at news@lindsey.edu. And be sure to encourage your friends and family members to subscribe to A View from the Hill. Until our next edition, I'm Dwayne Bonifer in the Lindsey Wilson Office of Public Relations. Thanks so much for listening. So long, everybody, and have a nice day.